Hey, and welcome to Girl Be Free, a podcast designed to help women get unstuck and cultivate the life you want on your terms. I'm Siobhan, your host, and I'm passionate about empowering women to live their best life. Each week, you'll hear pep talks that will inspire and push you to take action so you too can start to be free and live the life you want. You can learn more about me at BeFreeProject.com. Now let's jump into the show. Hey, welcome to another episode of the Girl Be Free podcast. I'm excited to be with you again for another week of good stuff, right? I hope you had a really good holiday. It feels like it went by like oh so fast, and now here we are approaching December. That is crazy and mind-blowing, but here we are. So I wanted to first start off by sharing some of the things that I'm really digging or what I'm into. If you know me, I love to share things that I really enjoy or get a kick out of, from recipes to books, music, articles, blog posts, websites, all things I love. I love to share with others. So I want to incorporate that some kind of way into the podcast. And so today I'm going to share with you two things that I am really digging. Number one, I absolutely love drinking my coffee with coconut oil. Now, that may seem a little strange, but trust me, it is really good. So what I do is I brew my coffee, and then after it's done, I pour it in my Vitamix blender, and I blend about a teaspoon, maybe a little bit less than a full teaspoon of coconut oil, and it comes out so creamy. Sometimes I'll add agave syrup, sometimes I don't, but it is absolutely amazing. And I've been drinking my coffee that way for almost a year, I believe. It'll be a year in January, and I love it. So if you have not tried it yet, definitely try drinking your coffee with coconut oil. The second thing that I am really into, or I just completed, I read Gabrielle Union's book, We're Going to Need More Wine. Y'all, I read that book over the weekend. Like in less than 24 hours, I read the full book, and it was so good. And I could not put it down. And I was even teary-eyed at the end because I was like, wow, and so it helped me understand, like learn her as a person, and how she has maneuvered and worked her way to the top and, mastering and getting better at her craft. It was a really, really good read, and I have such an appreciation for her just by reading her story. So those are the two things that I'm into: drinking my coffee with coconut oil, and then reading Gabrielle Union's book, where We're Going to Need More Wine. I'll drop the link for her book in the show notes so that you can check it out as well. All right, so today's topic is letting go so that you can grow. So today, I announced in my Facebook group that after I don't know, I've had it open for 2 years, maybe. I don't know, but we're almost at 2,000 people in the group. And after just thinking and reflecting and how I wanted to kind of show up in 2018, I announced to my group today that I was going to close the group so that I could focus my energy on things that made me feel alive, things that I was most passionate about. So that way I am spending my time the best way that I can, right? And so I announced today that I was closing the group as of December 1st. So if you are listening after I asked you to log into the group from previous or join the group from previous podcasts, now I'm telling you that the group is now closed. And the best way to stay connected with me is by subscribing to my Girl Be Free weekly newsletter. The link for that is in the show notes. And then also following me on social media like Instagram and my Facebook page, which I'll drop those links in the show notes as well. But as I'm thinking about how I want to move forward, some things I have to let go because I cannot do it all. And when I look at how the group has grown over the last year, I feel like it has done amazing. However, I really want to put my all into growing this podcast. And then I also want to put a lot of attention into my live events and my group coaching. And I want to go on tour next year. And that type of work takes a lot of mental space. And again, I cannot be everywhere. So I decided, and it was a hard decision because I really, really love the women in my group, but I decided that I was going to close the group for now so that I can focus my attention on things again that feel good to me. And so today's topic, as I mentioned, we're going to talk about letting things go so that you can grow, right? Change is good. Change does not necessarily have to be a bad thing. Sometimes I think we hold on to stuff way longer than we need to. And again, whenever I'm talking to you, most of the times I'm talking to talking to myself as well, because I am on this journey of being free and getting unstuck as well. And so when I'm sharing things with you, it's either something that I'm going through, something that I have learned from, some lessons, mistakes, or what have you. And just know that we're all in this together, that I do not have everything together, that I'm working on me just like I'm encouraging and empowering other people to do the same thing. And so change is good. Change is okay. It is okay no matter what age you're at, no matter what point you are in your life. If you do not feel good about the direction that your life is going in, you can pivot, you can change, you can press pause, and you can literally shift the direction. You do not have to continue to repeat the same thing over and over again, especially if it's not working for you, right? That's insanity. So if it's not working, figure out, okay, look at each area of your life, right? Looking at your relationships, financially, where you're at, where are you spiritually, physically, socially, your environment. Like, look at every area of your life, mentally and emotionally, right? And what areas, or excuse me, what do you need to change in each one of those areas? What do you need to let go of? What is not working in every single area of your life? And whatever is not working, be intentional about making some positive changes. You're going to hear me pause for a little bit because, as you know, I share this often that I'm drinking tea. And today I'm drinking a vanilla chai tea, which is really good. I'm not really a vanilla person at all. However, my husband bought this vanilla chai tea and it's really good. So that's the pause you're going to hear. But yeah, so whatever's not working, let it go. And that also can include people. So sometimes we carry people along with us for way too long, right? And when we start entering new seasons and you start doing this self-discovery work and really trying to be a better you, and then people that are in your life, they're not where you're at mentally, emotionally, or anything like that, but yet you keep holding on to them. And it's like you're carrying that weight. And with you carrying that weight, it's actually causing you to feel stuck and stagnant in your life because you're taking people with you that they may not be able to go on a journey with you right now. And that is okay. I've shared this many times before that your journey is your journey. Your vision, your dreams are your dreams. It's your vision. It has nothing to do with anybody else. And if you have people in your life that are stuck and stagnant and they're not open to growth, and you're steadily trying to bring them with you, you're only holding yourself back. I'm not saying that you have to cut them off altogether. However, you're going to have to put some space in between you and that person or people in order for you to begin to change your life and move to the next level. And think about like the thoughts that you have. If there are thoughts that's holding you back, if there's stuff, clutter, all of this stuff, it is time to let some things go, especially as we prepare to go into another year, which is crazy that we're approaching 2018, but it is what it is, right? So as we approach this new year, I don't want you to take along things with you that have no business going, right? So this is the perfect time before, January 1st or what have you, for you to take some time and reflect on what's working, what's not working, and what do you need to leave behind in order for you to grow. So I'll share with you some of the things that I am working on with letting go. And this is me just being totally transparent with you. The first thing is validation. That is something that I struggle with, meaning like a need to be seen or a need to be heard. And that's a challenge for me because when I was growing up, my mother never affirmed me. She never validated me. And we have a very strained relationship that I'll share on a podcast in the future, what have you. But because she never validated or affirmed me, I started looking for validation and affirmation in other people or other sources. And that is still a struggle to this day. And it's not all the time, but when I get in my feelings or I'm feeling emotional, I start thinking about, oh, well, this person didn't do this or this person didn't do that. And I just get all emotional. And so I had this aha moment today, that is a challenge, and that is something that I need to let go of, or I need to start to work on letting go. And I know that in order for me to receive more of what I want, I'm going to have to release some things. And the validation and affirmation from others, that is something that I am working on. And a book that I always suggest people read, and that I'm going to actually refer back to, is The Four Agreements by Miguel Ruiz, because it talks about how to don't take things personal, to always do your best, be impeccable with your word, and don't make assumptions. And so for me, even though it's a little book, it's something that I have to revisit often. So I will be circling back to that one. And then the next thing for me that I am working on letting go is playing it safe or playing it small. So my word for 2017 was, or my phrase rather, was to play big. And I do feel like this year I have stretched myself and really put myself out there. However, I feel like I can go bigger. I feel like the space that I'm in, with everything that I know, everything that I've been working on, what I've been creating and what I've been producing, I can play a little bit bigger than I have been. And so I want to let go of this, I guess, cautious mindset or less risky mindset, and really challenge myself to get out of my comfort zone. So that's something that I want to let go of. And then the last thing that I wrote down that I want to let go of is doing things that don't feel good to me. So periodically, I can get caught up in the masses, and I start creating these things for my business that don't really work for me. And I always want to kick myself, because afterwards, and I realize, oh, this is a total failure. Why did you do this? And I realized I was doing it because I saw someone else doing it, and I thought that that would work for my business. And in actuality, it didn't, right? And so I need to stop doing what I think is going to work, and always circle back to what is my purpose, and let everything that I do be aligned with that. And so that is something that I'm working on, doing things that feel good to me, and not doing things just because I see other people doing it and thinking that it will work in my business as well, or in my life. So that is what I'm working on. I wrote that down. I'm journaling about it, reflecting on it, meditating on it. Like, how can I begin to let these things go so that I can receive more of what I want in my life? And so my challenge for you, because I have to give you some type of action or affirmation or journal prompt or what have you. But this week, what I want you to do, as we prepare to close out another year, is I want you to make a list of everything that you need to let go of, from people to things, places that you go. What do you need to let go of, so that you can begin to receive more of what you want in your life? There's a similar question in the Free Your Mind journal that I created, that says something to the effect of, make a list of everything that you need to stop doing, and then make a list of everything that you need to start doing. So if you want to really start to do the inner work and take it even further than what I share on the podcast, I highly recommend that you order the Free Your Mind journal. It is a book that I created because because people would ask me, like, how did you get started, or what did you do, and how did you prepare for this journey that you're on? And I had to ask myself very specific questions, and start to do the inner work and get really uncomfortable with myself so that I can challenge myself to grow. And so the questions in the Free Your Mind journal are questions that I had to ask myself when I started my self-discovery journey. So if you're someone that's looking to take it deeper than, just answering the prompts that I share each week, definitely go ahead and order the journal. I'll drop the link in the show notes for you. And then you can also grab it on Amazon, and you can see the reviews that people have shared with me so far. So thank you, as always, for tuning in. what you can do from this point, since again, I have officially announced in my Facebook group that the group will be closing as of December 1st. But if you want to stay connected with me outside of this podcast and stay in the loop of everything that I'm doing, definitely subscribe to my weekly newsletter, which is called Girl Be Free. And each week you will be inspired and motivated to take action and show up in your life. So I will drop the link for that in the show notes as well. And then if your little heart desires, feel free to donate or support this podcast. People have been asking me, like, how can I support you? How can I give back? How can I show you some sort of support, right? And I'm like, I'm all for it. So you can always at any point donate to the Girl Be Free podcast. The link for that is in the show notes as well. So thank you so much for your time. And until we chat again, girl, be free. Thank you so much for listening. Your support means the world to me. Don't forget to subscribe so that you never miss an episode. And if you're feeling really fancy, go ahead and leave a review. Until next time, be free and live.